Speed rebuild time on Madden 23, and one of the main reasons why I like doing these speed rebuilds is sometimes I can't be bothered to play more than like half an hour to an hour of Madden, and a full rebuild takes longer than that. Of course, we will have a full rebuild on Thursday, maybe even Saturday, because I believe there's no playoff games on Saturday this time, because we're getting down to nitty-gritty. The season's over. Just like the Packers was many, many weeks ago. Of course, Calvin Ridley for the Jaguars could be a fun name next season. I still can't get over the fact. Like, I get it. It's more of a principle thing. It's like, you know, you steal the principal's car. Speaking of principal, different principal, you know, maybe, and you don't do any damage. Maybe the principal wouldn't be that mad, perhaps. But, like, you gotta spank him, right? Like, you gotta... I don't know where I'm going with this, but you got to lay down the law so it doesn't happen again, right? Like, Calvin Ridley wasn't betting on, you know, his team or another team that he's playing against. But, you know, I get it, right? Like, I get it, because then corruption gets crazy. Only the big dogs and the owners of the NFL can bet on games and rig games, okay? Not the players. We can't have you guys making too much money now, because then you might own one of the teams. But, of course, Trevor Lawrence, 82 overall superstar, looked great. You know, they actually had a pretty solid-looking offense. Evan Ingram definitely had himself a crazy year. Still has those random drops at times. Seen that in the latest playoff game that they lost. Looking at the defense, we got some names here. You know, that Broncos speed rebuild we did recently, you know, maybe not the greatest. But this one I would absolutely expect to end at least in the playoffs, maybe a Super Bowl win. As far as what we need to target, definitely offensive line. You know, Trevor Lawrence maybe could have played a little bit better against the Chiefs, but I got to be honest, with that offensive line, I mean, he was on his back more than the average OnlyFans model, so you got to keep him upright, you got to give him a chance, and you also have to catch the damn ball when it gets to your hands, right? That was a problem as well. As much as I like Zay Jones, and we apparently hate Agnew now because of the way that they lost, I think you maybe trade him off, maybe trade some of these wide receivers off for depth somewhere else. I kind of want to keep Kirk and Ridley as the numbers 1 and 2, but if it comes down to us having a chance to upgrade that position, I might do it. But honestly, offensive playmakers, I don't know if we're going to change any of them. I think it's O-line and then defense. I like everyone on offense, but at the same time, I can't let my biases get in the way. I definitely need to get the team as good as possible. That's the goal. No ifs, ands, or buts. We can do whatever we can to trade him. If it comes down to trading Trevor Lawrence, that's the way it's going to be. I don't think I will, but I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Also, I always kind of like Tyson Campbell, especially in the game, but wow, he's really good in the game now. He is very good. 6'1", got just enough speed and excel, great man in zone, catching's amazing, press is solid, he can obviously get better. 6'1", I mean, 22 years old, it's all great. It's all great. Also, I'm sorry about that last name, but at least you're in the NFL, dude. You probably got a lot of crap for it. I didn't even mean that. I swear to God, I did not mean that pun. I did not mean it. Also, I typed out the name of our coach, so there you go. Please block for Trevor is the name of the head coach. If I'm going to take the 10 seconds it takes to type out the name, you're going to at least have to see it. Sorry. But quick recap of what we're doing here, obviously. Trading as much as possible, whatever is possible, any type of trade, realistic or not, to make the team as good as possible, and we will have 10 minutes to do so, as an 80 overall team gets you 8 minutes, but because of the glitches in the game for trading, you have to back out a lot of times for the trades to actually go through for the next one, so we add 2 minutes on to kind of counteract the amount of times we're going to have to back all the way out and then head back in, so plus 2 minutes onto the 8 they would get, because they're 2 overalls higher than 80, so if we went with a team that's an 87 overall, we'd have 3 minutes only to work with, plus the 2 we get because of the back out, so those type of teams, maybe not the easiest. Maybe going forward, once we get to 85, it locks in at 5. Maybe an 86, 87, 88 overall team, if we're going to do those teams for speed rebuilds, it locks in. So at least have 5 to 7 minutes to work with, But without any further ado, let's get into this. Lineman on 3. 1, 2, 3, linemen. The clock has started, and we are going to be looking for the trenches. Really, both sides of the ball. Absolutely need some work there, and I don't know if I like that. Tyler Shatley, we just kind of made fun of him for literally no reason. It was super unprovoked. The Bears were a team, but I don't think they have anyone other than DB kind of. The Vikings. Who was the other team? Was it the Browns? It was the Browns. They got O-line. They got a line Nick Chubb, but the running back position's not terrible here. I don't, like I said, think we need Amari. And Njoku's not really an improvement for us. I'll put these three on and see where we stand. Not very tall, let me tell you. Wyatt Teller's probably still going to be a superstar, which is going to make his value high, despite the fact that his overall's low, and we know that devs don't do a thing in Sims, so there's not really much of a reason to trade for him. I also would argue that Marvin Jones doesn't actually have a green value across any team, so I'm not going to value it that high. So we may have to give up a lot to get Joel Batonio here, but I think it'll be fine as a second-round pick I can live with. They cannot, though. I also wonder... I'm kind of curious because we've seen recently that the trades, for some reason, some players actually drop the value for a trade rather than upgrade it. And this could be a case of that. And it does seem to be that, as we can see that Zay Jones makes it better than when Marvin is in there. And obviously Marvin has that green. So that was very strange there. Maybe we can trade Marvin Jones off for like a backup level talent from the Bears, or maybe even Eddie Jackson, because this team's safeties aren't the greatest. So if we can make a play like that, that would be kind of sick. Our best overall is now a lineman. Definitely not glad to see that. Eddie Jackson, wow, okay, maybe I was wrong. Of course, he is only star development trait. Star development trait players at times kind of go for different things, kind of lower sometimes, but 78 for an 86. That is still absurdly different than what I was expecting to happen. Rayshawn Jenkins, he's expensive, and of course, overalls do... Whatever, I'm going to keep these guys on the list. Just got to stop messing around. We need a cornerback. We could really use an elite-level cornerback, and the Bears look like they're interested again. Don't know if I would say they have an elite-level corner, but I suppose Jalen Johnson's an upgrade, so if we did a straight-up 1-to-1, I would take it. There you go. I wonder, honestly, I might do a video on that. Could you slowly get up the ladder just trading like that? Like, it's like that old situation where you trade a pack of cards for, like, you know... 2 cigarettes. You trade the 2 cigarettes to some guy that's like, you know, addicted to cigarettes. It's like, I'll give you $10. And then it's like, okay, well, now we've just turned this into enabling people. Great. That's going to go well. No, it's not Shatley. This time it's Fortner. These players, I'm not going to judge them personally, but maybe not the best. Why the hell is Odell on the Raiders? Is that a thing in real life? To be fair, I did go to regular season, so they probably just signed him. Chandler Jones. Do we need edge? No, we have edge. What am I doing? He's also still an X Factor, so he's not going to be worth a whole lot. Although, Jacobs is still a star in the game, isn't he? Okay, he's not going to be that easy to get, but there was a chance. Colton Miller. Ooh, actually, I really want Colton Miller now. I don't know what it's going to take to get Colton Miller, but I really want him. Right guard, who we got? Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's a loss. Devon Hamilton, maybe. What about just straight-up Hamilton? Okay, so, we're moving slightly. What about the left end spot? We're really screwing ourselves here. However, we will have a whole 6 minutes left to try and make a play for the D-line. I know Hamilton is a huge loss if we lose him, which, I mean, we're aiming to do that, but I think it'll be fine. I mean, we're gaining a pretty talented tackle. Colton Miller's really good. Like, especially in the game, he's actually insanely good. If the ratings properly worked the way they're supposed to, he'd be one of the best linemen in the game. He's super tall, he's super strong, he's super athletic. He's just Superman. He's, like, really good. Cam Robinson's a little bit older than Taylor, so in theory, he has less value for us in keeping him. So 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 if you keep Jawan, which I think we could. We still have high draft picks. I'd be okay with starting Lloyd if I had to. This would be a trade where I'd want to go back to the lineman position or get a DT. Colts could be an option. Who the Niners have? Armstead might still be like a star, but he's solid. Armstead, please. He's an 82. Oh, my. What about Dre? Could I do like Dre, Jimmy Ward? This would be a bundle. Dre, Jimmy Ward, and Charvarius? There's no way. What am I even thinking? How is that even close to possible? Can we do Charvarius and Armstead? Get rid of Greenlaw. Don't know why Robinson's not valuable to them. Okay, that's not good. I don't want to give up a first-round pick, but I give up a second next year because they're not the youngest guys in the world, so you would think they wouldn't be that hard to get. I think Armstead straight up we get. Really? That throws a little wrench. Just a tiny one. I'm not like a big fan of throwing things, but that definitely does. Also, I didn't realize we had pick 1 technically. So that is worth a fortune. I'm kind of thinking we just trade first, pick for 1 overall right now, because I want to make sure we get that off the board and don't sell it. As you can see, there's some pretty nice offers here. This is where you do get the most value technically, because they end up over trading what you would normally get in a trade itself. Edge isn't, maybe the worst thing or the best thing we need. Jeffrey is nice. But I definitely want to land some players. Can we get multiple interior guys here? Wait, what the hell? Isn't Leonard Williams playing really well in real life? Am I losing it? I would do it. They're close. I mean, this would solve a lot of problems for us. Trenches would be solved both sides of the ball realistically here, and we'd still keep that first round next year, which maybe you can use for a better wide receiver if that's the route you want to go. Obviously, it's Dexter and Thomas that are making this trade impossible. Oof, that's tough, dude. I don't think adding players to this is really going to help us. Right tackle. I would actually get rid of the right tackle if that's what they want to do. He's a green. Really? So we've already experienced that situation. I don't necessarily like this trade as much, but oh my god, we're selling. We have 3 minutes left, and I just sold so much time there. All right, CJ Mosley's not the best in the world. That's going to go. Really? I mean, Quentin's great, but, I don't feel like pick 1 in-game is that low of a value. I'm going to take it, though, because I'm down to 3 minutes left, and I have so many more positions to work with. You can cut your own roster. I don't give a damn. Yeah, I said it. 2.5 minutes left. Still have our first round next year. Still have a second round next year. Could still use at least alignment, but we could just live with who we have. And I think with the needs we have and the some of the players that we need to work with, I think we want to not worry about that. I think cornerback is still kind of a need. Safety wouldn't hurt. So wide receiver corner if we could do it. So the Browns, could we do Amari, Denzel, and actually finish O-line? Why not? Nope. These two. Get rid of these picks. Okay, it is a next year situation in fairness. 2 minutes left. I'm panicking a little bit, but I'm not overly panicked. Although as the time keeps going here, I am actually really panicking. Okay, we need a different corner. Cornerback, wide receiver. Is this the team that actually said they would do it? This seems like it's even harder to get. Oh, we're broke. I didn't even think about that. That is a problem. That is a problem. Yo, I'll solve it. We can't afford this either. Oh, actually, we can. Oh, my God. We're selling. DT. Just give me a DT or a corner, honestly. DT corner. Who do they got? Derek Brown and what? Oh, my God. We have a minute left. I am crapping the bed here. Bro, I am selling. I've, lost the plot. I, don't know what to do now. Aaron Donald. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Can we just get Aaron Donald? Oh, my God. We have a minute left. I'm actually anxious. This is insane. I'm anxious. I'm physically anxious. Roquan and who? We do need a linebacker in fairness. Roquan. Oh, this could be a decent trade, actually. Oh, my God. What can I get rid of? Marcus Williams is insanely high value. Oh, can I do this? Just do it. Wait, what? Okay, I mean, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, we're selling hard, though. Okay, we're done deal. And this is where that trade situation is going to really cuck me, isn't it? Marcus Williams. Oh, my. We have sold, though. We're missing... What are we missing? D-line? Take it? No. I will allow this if it goes. Especially since I got it. Alright, so that final 2.5 minutes I really sold on, and I'm really disappointed, but let's still see what we landed. Alright, so I'm not going to say we were perfect. We were definitely better than the Denver Broncos speed rebuild, but we also had a lot more to work with, especially with the first pick overall. I don't even remember what we traded each first pick overall for, but hopefully it was good enough. But this is what the team looks like. We started with an 82 overall. We finished with an 88. We had a couple of duplicate positions, which definitely sucks because obviously we couldn't trade those for positional needs like DT. Like I said, maybe we could have upgraded, trade Ridley or Kirk for a better wide receiver that, we could have upgraded. But the O-line is definitely better. Left tackle's way better. Left guard's way better. Center, technically better because we moved left tackle to center. And then defense. Thankfully, Aluakon is busted at free safety. He is busted. Of course, his coverage sucks, but his overall is good, so I'm hoping he's at least good at the position. But he goes from an 84 overall to an 87. Maybe someone else at linebacker would have been better, like Roquan moving to safety. But as far as the speed goes, he had the best speed that wasn't Roquan to play free safety, and Jalen Johnson actually stayed as an 82 overall going to that spot, so it kind of was stupid. We improved the cornerback spot. It's a little bit more depth as well, and then we added the 2 Jets interior defenders to play that role. Maybe we could have used Trayvon with something. Could have upgraded outside linebacker, all that kind of stuff, but we kind of panicked, ran out of time, and that's the quote-unquote beauty / from my standpoint, no cap, actual frustration. I was literally, I was kind of nervous. I don't know why. It was just that final minute and a half got to me, and I started feeling like, somebody was about to kill me. I don't know. It's strange. Super shaky start, but with no changes to any sort of thing. Really sucks we didn't get the bye week, but we ended up going 13-4. So we have obviously increased their team, specifically real life, and in-game sim, because let's be honest, the regular Jaguars don't do that well, to 13 wins, which is really good. Like I said, if you start 0-2 against 2 very winnable game teams, and then we just went on a bit of a run. Obviously had a couple losses in between, but overall, really good stuff there, 13-2 after that start to the season. Let's take a look at the numbers. I would imagine the defense was mainly the reason why we succeeded. Not that the offense wasn't good, but first in defensive yardage, 14th in offensive, obviously. 8th in points scored, which is really good on its own. And then the defense with first. So the number 1 defense in football. Maybe I actually rock this playbook because, sure, the players were good, but we've had better rebuild teams on defense in this, and they've never done this well. But 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Touchdowns in general were down a little bit. Not the greatest, but good enough. As far as receiving goes, very good team effort. Obviously, Agnew, tells me that if we go with the Jaguars playbook ever in the future, we do probably need 3 good wide receivers. We still got it done, though. Blocking was solid for Madden's concerns. 2 guys with over 100 tackles. Sack totals, 14.5 from Quentin Williams. Of course, John Franklin Myers, the man, 9.5. 9 for Josh Allen, and the rest not so good. Interceptions were low. Kicking was just good enough. Punting was just good enough. Kick return touchdown for Agnew. Any MVP, any kind of awards, we would have been on the list. Oh, Trevor at 8. Okay, fair enough. Any award wins at all? The answer is no. But in the playoffs, going against the Cincinnati Bengals, let's see what we're looking at. 89 overall for us, 87 for them. It's winnable. End of the game. Come on, just give us 1 playoff win. That's all I ask for, even though the Bengals are very good. Very solid. 10-3. Defense is holding up so far. Kind of living up to that regular season stat line. 17-6 start the second half. 20-6, still looking pretty good. Man, this defense, I know they just got a touchdown, but considering how bad the offense was, pretty good. Although here it is, 21-yard line. I kind of want to come in. I know I'm not supposed to, but you know what? We're going to start treating these differently. Also, we are, what's going on here? Do we have the wrong rush defenders maybe? Robertson. And there goes Tyson Campbell. Terrible decision by Burrow. Will send this team to divisional. I don't care if I have to come in from now on. Maybe in those situations, maybe under a minute I'm allowed to, either side of the ball. I'll do it. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Sim, they were going to give him the guaranteed touchdown. We come in, and we seen Joe Burrow made a bad play. I didn't, switch off and make some crazy play. He literally just threw it into coverage. Trevor Lawrence, perfect. Burrow, well, maybe not perfect, but really good. Burrow with that interception right at the end to end the game. Connor with a touchdown. Jamal Agnew, talking crap, but he's kind of killing it. Tyson Campbell with that interception, of course, and everyone else was pretty damn good. Divisional round, who do we have? the Ravens. Man, the AFC is so tough, though, isn't it? 84 overall for them, which is definitely not as good, and they also lost 2 solid players in their team. End of the game. Ravens start off with 3. We bounce back with nothing. They get nothing. We get a touchdown. Ravens scoring a touchdown themselves, 14-10. Halftime score will remain the same. 3 points there, up by 7, all tied up. Starting the fourth quarter, getting a field goal. Defense does its job, but offense can't do it. I mean, I said under a minute. What the? Where's the time? It takes 14 seconds to get a ball off? Hello? We really can't get the ball off earlier than that. Also, the way they're lined up here, Ingram has a chance to be great. He absolutely has a chance to be great here. And he's got to be great. We're not going to get it. That's insane coverage for 1. And 2, really, really good pressure. All right, ETN, you only have to score on a 75-yard 4th and 10 play. Well, you do get it out there. We'll see. Okay, Marlon's him, I guess. He not only doesn't get pancaked by a 300-pound lineman, which, EA, when are we going to see the game actually have that? But he gets past him. Greatest block shedder I've ever seen, obviously. Like, does anyone want to give me a good reason to why... Like, why is Marlon Humphrey still on his feet? Not only is it a very heavy man, it is a very talented heavy man. Like, why is a linebacker who's actually paid to pass rush being stopped better by a worse lineman than a cornerback? I don't even know, dude. Whatever, dude. EA is just what they are. Can't even keep our damn franchise data safe. Trevor Lawrence, he definitely didn't play well again. His percentage wasn't, like, great. Like, he didn't play bad first game, but that completion percentage is just so bad every game. And we even had Tucker missing 2 field goals, and the team couldn't win. 2. Wow. Okay. Defense didn't do terribly in that one. Offense gave a lot of short fields and quick drives up, but would have been nice to see a little bit better. Obviously, we at least made it to the divisional round, gave them a run for their money. Can't wait to see the Ravens not in the Super Bowl, because every time it happens. Oh, they're in. Never mind. That also does happen, so it's, like, stupid as hell. But, like, usually they make it all the way, or they lose the very next game, which I've, obviously, in that case, that's the only 2 options. But normally, if we're in the wild card, we lose. It's either the Super Bowl winner, or they lose the very next game, which is such an L. But, of course, technically, in this case, they did lose the very next game. Well, actually, no, they didn't. They lost the Super Bowl, but still, no money. The team is dead, but we made the playoffs. We got a playoff win. We made them Jaguars who they are, kind of. But anyways, you guys enjoyed this one. Maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, Pkr Plays for non-Madden content. If you guys enjoyed this one, and you want to see more, let me know in the comment section below who you want to see next. Maybe a different style of speed rebuild. Maybe a fantasy draft rebuild. I don't know if I've ever done one of those. I also don't know if it's possible. I feel like every time I do a fantasy draft rebuild, or just fantasy draft in general, after the draft, it's really hard to trade because every team kind of like has all the positions they need. I think the game kind of values that, right? Like normally you have teams that are really desperate at positions, so they might weight it really high, but if every team has like 80s at every position, even if they're old or they're not very good, but they're 80s, they don't really have a lot of trade, motivation, if you will. But that could be fun. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya!